Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Steve here, and today I've got a collection of clips ranging from cryptid sightings to glitches in our matrix that may just leave you shocked. Ready? Well, let's jump in. We start today's episode with a clip from California that can be traced to September 2021. This was captured by the doorbell camera of the one who sent it in one evening. He kept hearing his bell go off, and anytime he checked, there was no one there. After going through the same ordeal a couple of times, he stayed to watch the clip a while longer, and what you see on your screen is what came up. Naturally, he was shocked and then surprised and then a little worried. He did some digging around, and it led him to one of the paranormal groups we're part of online, where he uploaded it. Different individuals have watched this and shared their opinions. Most individuals who saw the clip thought it had to be a fairy. Before you dismiss the fact that fairies are not real creatures, you must remember that I mentioned it was a paranormal platform, meaning most individuals believe in such creatures. Anyway, how do you know those creatures aren't real? The lack of evidence does not mean the absence of evidence. Just because we haven't had concrete evidence yet doesn't mean that they're not out there. Aaron believes this could be the real deal. Julius is still laughing at us at the time of compiling this video. He can't believe we're considering it could be a real fairy. What about you guys? What do you think? What would be your reaction if you realized there was a finger poking out of your tree? On second thought, watch this clip before you answer.
And guess what I found? It looked like a finger, or maybe it's the tree.
Looks like a finger or a toe, doesn't it? Well, the individual who uploaded this clip has gone grocery shopping, and when she returned home, she noticed something on her tree she had never seen, a toe or finger-like growth. Confused and a little unsettled, she uploaded this online seeking answers. Some believe it's probably just a weirdly shaped root, while others think it might be the real deal. But you gotta wonder, what would a toe be doing in a tree? It doesn't make sense now, does it? Well, there are legends that state that some ancient trees were once human. Not sure if it fits here, but that's the interpretation some are giving to it. Some even suggested that a human might have been buried under the tree before it was planted. But Julia states that's just not possible. Even if it were true, the finger would have decomposed long before the tree became this huge. He thinks it's either just a weirdly shaped root or a digital manipulation. What say you?
And guess what I found? It looked like a finger, or maybe it's the tree.
Stepping away from earthly things, we take to the skies where something rather odd was captured. Take a look.
I don't know. What is it?
The individual who uploaded this was a bit confused by what he was seeing, and who could blame him for all this UFO talk going around. Once he saw this, he assumed it had to be related, which prompted him to record. Once it hit the internet, a number of individuals were convinced this was part of the evidence needed to prove that UFOs exist. However, there were some who were a bit more reserved with their opinions. After careful consideration and analysis, these individuals concluded that the site had to be one of a flock of birds. There are some who also felt it had to be a jet stream from another jet. While many tried to find answers, there were some who saw nothing but proof that the Earth was flat. I digressed anyway. What do you guys think we're dealing with here?
I don't know. What is it?
Tell me this didn't freak you out. Tell me I'm not the only one who thinks this looks like something from outer space. I was ready to throw the alien or AI tag on this one when Aaron told me to be serious. Now, to have Aaron correct and ground me on a subject like this made me feel, well, you know what, never mind. Either way, after a short discourse with him, I learned that this is lava of a tortoise beetle. Now, this was my first time hearing something like this as it existed, and I'm sure it's yours too. I did some research and discovered that tortoise beetles are small, brightly colored insects known for their domed, shield-like shells which resemble a tortoise. Found mostly in the Americas, they feed on plants like sweet potatoes and morning glories. Their larvae, like what you see on your screen, are unique in that they carry their own fecal matter and shed skins on their backs, creating a protective shield called a fecal umbrella. This helps deter predators by making them less appealing or harder to detect. The larvae often have spiny bodies and go through several stages of molting before maturing into adult beetles. Now, tell me that's not alien and bizarre. Speaking of strange or unusual sights, take a look at this. What did you see? An ape going into hiding? Well, take a second look. Tell me you see it. Does this movement also not seem a bit human to you? Sure, apes can stand up and move, but they seldom move like humans. There's a noticeable difference you can't miss. Look at this one, however, I'm not sure. It's these same feelings that made the campers who captured this clip share it online. While out camping, they couldn't shake off the feeling that they were not alone. After a few hours in the woods, they spotted the reason. Seeing its cover was blown, it sped out of the place, but not before they managed to capture what you see on your screen. Most who saw the clip are convinced we're dealing with a Bigfoot, albeit a juvenile. What about you? What do you see? The UFO and UAP phenomenon is no longer a fringe topic discussed only by enthusiasts and conspiracy theories. It's becoming increasingly recognized by both the public and government officials alike. Some police departments have even compiled handbooks acknowledging that these unidentified flying objects and unidentified aerial phenomena are real and need to be approached with caution. This gradual shift is significant. For decades, UFO sightings were dismissed or explained away as hoaxes or misidentified natural occurrences. But now, with official bodies taking it seriously, it seems like we're being gently eased into accepting a reality that many have speculated about for years. We may not be alone in the universe. It's fascinating to consider. Are these slow revelations a way to prepare humanity for an even bigger announcement? Many believe that governments and institutions have known far more about extraterrestrial life than they let on, and that this growing acknowledgement of UAPs is just the tip of the iceberg. How do you feel about this? Let us know in the comments section. One night, a man was jolted awake by a loud, unsettling noise echoing from the woods behind his home. Driven by both concern and curiosity, he grabbed a flashlight and brought his Rottweiler along for protection.
She's on it. Get it, girl. Get it. This coyote is done now.
As they neared the source of the disturbance, the dog suddenly bolted ahead, clearly sensing something in the distance. Initially, the man assumed it was just a coyote, a familiar predator in the area. But as the noise grew louder and more persistent, it became clear that whatever lurked out there was much larger and far more menacing than a coyote. The sense of unease deepened as he considered that his Rottweiler, a powerful breed, might not stand a chance against this unknown creature. Choosing safety over confrontation, he called his dog back and retreated to their house. Some believe that what the man encountered that night could have been a dog man. But what do you think?
She's on it. Get it, girl. Get it. This coyote is done now.
Now, this lady received a clip from her friend claiming her dad captured something unusual on his security cam. If you have a boomer dad, you know how these things go. After reviewing the clip, however, she realized there was a translucent lady in it, which made her jaw drop. She's not sure what it was, but believes it could be some ghost or apparition, and she uploaded it online to see what others had to say. Most who saw it were shocked by it. There are some who had been waiting their whole lives for evidence of ghosts, and they took this to be one of them. There are some in the comments section of her post that were skeptical, though. They believed it was just bad Photoshop, and she defended herself, stating it couldn't be unless her dad or some friend had suddenly learned to Photoshop stuff himself. Some were also curious about the whole thing. They wondered if there had been any paranormal events there, to which she declined. The whole thing's just a bit bizarre and exciting if you ask me, but that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? A resident in Mexico shared chilling footage of an eerie event that occurred late one night near his workplace, which is situated close to an abandoned hospital. Hospitals, especially abandoned ones, are often linked with tales of paranormal activity due to the many deaths that occur within their walls. And this particular hospital had a long history of strange noises and sightings. The man had experienced oddities before, unexplained sounds, strange shadows, but what he encountered this time was far beyond anything he had ever imagined. One night, the hospital mysteriously caught fire. As he quickly called for emergency services, waiting for help to arrive, something truly horrifying happened. Amid the flames consuming the building, he noticed something terrifying, the silhouette of a human figure, visible from the shoulders up, standing at the window, staring directly at him. It appeared as if someone or something was trapped in the blaze, but no one was supposed to be there. Just take a look at the eerie figure in the flames. What could this have been? Was it a ghostly presence lingering from the hospital's tragic past, or was there an even darker explanation for what he saw that night? Let us know what you think in the comments. In Petrovka, a small village in Russia, a man shared some fascinating footage that has sparked both awe and curiosity. The video shows a group of orbs pulsating in the sky, moving and dancing in an almost synchronized manner. The sight is undeniably beautiful, but also deeply mysterious, leaving many viewers wondering what exactly is happening. Could this be some form of alien activity or extraterrestrial craft, as some might speculate? Or is it a natural phenomenon, perhaps something related to atmospheric anomalies, ball lightning, or even an unusual reflection of light? While it's easy to let our imaginations run wild, we can't help but ponder whether these orbs are connected to something we don't yet fully understand. What do you think? A man went hunting in the forest with his dog, only for his loyal companion to suddenly bolt towards something rustling in the bushes. Curious about what could have caught his dog's attention, perhaps expecting to find a rabbit or small game, he moved closer, but what he encountered was far from ordinary. A strange winged creature appeared before him. Its appearance was almost alien, like with large black insect-like eyes. The footage is blurry, making it hard to get a clear look at the being, but one thing is certain. It wasn't just an insect. Its size and form were far too large to be mistaken for any typical forest bug. The wings gave it an otherworldly quality, almost as if it didn't belong to our realm. Could this creature be an undiscovered species or something more supernatural, perhaps even extraterrestrial? What are your thoughts? This home security camera footage captured something truly mysterious. A winged creature was seen flying across the frame. Its wings resembled those of a butterfly, but the silhouette revealed something even stranger, a human-like figure with wings on its back. Could it be a fairy? What's even more baffling is that the creature appeared to be glowing as it flew, giving it an ethereal, otherworldly presence. The combination of its glowing form and humanoid shape with delicate wings raises all sorts of questions. Was this a trick of light, a rare natural phenomenon, or something straight out of folklore? What are your thoughts on this glowing winged creature? This story is a kind of thing that would make anyone's heart race. Imagine this. A woman is heading upstairs to her room when she spots something unsettling on the window. A window that's 20 feet up, almost near the ceiling. There, imprinted on the glass, is a small human-like footprint accompanied by what looks like fingerprints. The kicker? The prints are on the outside of the building. Now, how could a child or even an adult manage to leave prints so high up without a ladder? The sheer impossibility of it brings to mind eerie scenes from horror movies where people, sometimes possessed, walk on walls or ceilings like spiders. Could this be something paranormal, or is there a more logical but equally bizarre explanation? What do you think? Could this be a prank, or are we dealing with something much stranger here? In Brazil, a farmer was digging on his property when he uncovered something truly remarkable: a colossal creature buried in the earth. This being had tentacles and an almost octopus-like appearance, but with huge dark eyes that made it look even more alien. The size and features of this creature were so striking that one commenter on the video boldly named it Cthulhu, referencing the famous cosmic entity from H.P. Lovecraft's mythology. What could this creature really be, though? An ancient relic of a forgotten world? Or is there a more natural explanation for this bizarre find?
Why is she frozen? Bro, I'm tripping. What the f***?
Speaking of bizarre, take a look at this clip. Doesn't that bring to mind the NPCs we see in games like Grand Theft Auto? Especially when there's a lag and the characters start moving slower than they're supposed to. You see it too, don't you? The one who uploaded it swears it's not doctored. Assuming we are to believe him, is this proof that we live in a simulation?
Why is she frozen? Bro, I'm tripping. What the f***?
Another homeowner, but this time in the Colorado mountains, shared a strange experience online. He'd been hearing eerie footsteps on his deck, but when he went out to check, there was no one there. Curious, he decided to review the footage from his doorbell camera, and what he saw shocked him. The camera captured a large ape-like creature walking outside of the door. The creature was moving on 2 feet, and its size was massive. The homeowner believes this creature could be a Bigfoot. However, not everyone is convinced. Julius claims the footage is AI-generated, and even Aaron pointed out the creature's arms aren't as long as the traditional descriptions of Bigfoot would suggest. What do you think? Could this be a genuine sighting of Bigfoot, or is it just a clever digital fabrication? Speaking of digital fabrications, take a look at this. The uploader of this clip states that he looked out of his window and saw this happening. I'm not sure if it's vivid enough, but it appears to be a golden orb circulating in the same spot. I've combed the internet looking for an explanation and found none. Some team members believe it's digitally inserted too, but what if it's not? Can any of you come up with an explanation for it? I will be reading in the comments. A man in a field noticed a long, large creature moving ahead of him. Based on its appearance and movement, it didn't seem like a snake, as it moved forward in a way that snakes don't. They tend to slither. This creature, however, appeared to be something else, perhaps resembling a giant millipede. It's intriguing because millipedes are known for their segmented bodies and many legs, which give them a distinct rolling or walking movement. If this was indeed a giant millipede, it could be a rare or undiscovered species. What do you think it could be? An unusual insect, a large millipede, or something else entirely? Stepping away from all that, take a look at this clip. This man is attempting to explain that aliens do not exist. Well, he doesn't explicitly say that, but his explanations imply it. According to him, there are times when our plane of existence merges with others. We don't realize it, but beings from other dimensions or planes of existence walk into our own. Because they do not belong to our dimension, they end up looking and moving in strange ways, which causes us to call them aliens. Sounds very interesting, but do share your thoughts. What do you think?
Olha o tamanho da árvore.
Olha o tamanho da árvore.
Gente, não tem cabimento, não.
Olha pra você ver o tamanho do cara.
Tá não. Alguma coisa.
From an unknown location, we've got a video that captures an entire town of locals standing outside, their eyes fixed on the distant mountains. The footage shows a massive being walking among the trees and structures nestled in the mountains. Despite the distance, when zoomed in, the figure becomes more distinct, appearing to be a colossal, human-like figure. The sheer size of the figure compared to the surrounding landscape raises many questions. Could this be a giant? The town's reaction suggests this isn't a common sight, as the people seem captivated by the scene. Some may argue it could be an illusion caused by the landscape, perhaps a trick of the camera, but others are left wondering if there really could be such an enormous being walking the earth. Giants have often been part of myth and legend, from ancient stories to modern sightings, but if this footage is real, it raises a profound question. What else could be out there hidden among the mountains and forests just beyond our everyday understanding? Light can deceive the eye, especially when shadows are involved. This particular footage has sparked a heated debate online. A man walking home one night noticed a strange shadow cast on the wall. He describes it as an entity draped in tattered robes, seemingly floating above. Some viewers, like Aaron, support the man's claim, believing it to be a ghostly figure or some other supernatural presence. However, skeptics like Julius and others dismiss this, arguing it's simply a shadow of a coconut tree. When you closely examine the footage, you can begin to see why people are split. From one angle, the shadow looks unnervingly like a figure with the robes fluttering in an eerie way. But once you focus on the coconut tree theory, you can also imagine how the tree's branches and leaves under just the right light could create the illusion of something far more sinister. What do you think? A mysterious entity or just a trick of the light? As if that was not weird enough, we've got another clip from Sarah you might enjoy. Take a look. This time, this dad took a photo using his daughter's phone after he noticed there was something in there. He was hoping the photo would prove him wrong and let him know he was seeing things. After taking the phone, however, it was still in it. If you pay attention to the top right corner of the door, you should see what looks like a face staring in the direction of the camera. See it? Oh, that's not normal. The dad states he was unable to sleep till morning. What would you have done? Animals, though they can't communicate like we do or express emotions in ways that are easy for us to understand, clearly have deep feelings and memories. They too experience loss and grief, even if it's hard for us to grasp fully. In this touching story, a woman returned home to find her dog sitting right in front of a photo that featured her husband, and the dog. What makes this moment even more heartbreaking is that the dog was howling in distress, fixated on the picture. The deeper significance comes from the fact that her husband had passed away a year ago, and the day this happened was his 42nd birthday. It seemed the dog, in its way, remembered its owner and was mourning him, almost as if it was holding a memorial. This emotional response shows just how strong the bond between humans and animals can be, and how they're capable of feeling loss just like we do. A farmer was recording a video of his cows while they were grazing, and something strange happened. Count the cows. At first there are 3, but after just a few seconds, one of them completely disappears in a thin air. How could this even be possible? It's left many people wondering whether this is some sort of glitch in reality, or maybe even a real-life alien abduction. Others, of course, are saying it's just edited footage. So what do you think? Could it be a mysterious phenomenon, an elaborate trick, or simply a case of clever video editing? In this clip, a saucer-shaped object can be seen hovering in the sky, the kind of classic flying saucer shape we often associate with UFOs. It appears to float effortlessly, and the footage is quite clear, making it difficult to dismiss outright. The TikToker was certain that this was a genuine UFO sighting, and the comments section blew up with mixed reactions. Some viewers are convinced that this could be an alien craft, especially given the rise in recent UFO and UAP sightings. However, others remain skeptical, pointing out that the footage could be digitally manipulated or staged with a drone, given how easy it is to create convincing fakes with modern technology. Something is going on in Southern California right now, and it's raising serious concerns. Rancho Palos Verdes has been experiencing frequent earthquakes leading to landslides and noticeable cracks in the streets. Meanwhile, areas like Highland, California are battling intense wildfires with thick smoke filling the air. It's a chaotic mix of natural disasters, and people are wondering why all of this is happening at once. Some are pointing to climate change as a factor, drought conditions, rising temperatures, and other environmental shifts that have made California more vulnerable to wildfires. At the same time, earthquakes and landslides may be linked to the region's geological activity, as California sits on multiple fault lines, including the San Andreas Fault. Then some believe these events are signs of something more, be it a spiritual or apocalyptic sign, as many have referred in history during times of environmental upheaval. While we can't ignore the science behind these disasters, there's always been a sense of unease when nature seems to be acting out. What do you think? Could this be a natural phenomenon, or is there something bigger at play? A hiker was exploring the woods when he stumbled upon strange markings on the ground. Intrigued, he grabbed a torch and camera and decided to investigate further. He discovered an old, worn-out door leading to a tunnel. As he ventured deeper, he came across a series of metal doors, each one leading to another staircase going even further down. Eventually, he reached the end of the tunnel where he found a hatch. Opening it, he entered a smaller room filled with what looked like old toilets and other forgotten spaces. The maze seemed to stretch on, with numerous rooms and corridors. Finally, he found a staircase that led him out of the tunnel. It's possible this could have been an old military bunker, fallout shelter, or some kind of hidden underground structure. During the Cold War, many countries built secret bunkers in case of nuclear fallout, and some of these facilities still remain hidden or forgotten today. Another possibility is that it could have been part of an old mining operation or a utility tunnel system that's no longer in use. What do you think this place could have been? When you look at deer from a distance, they often appear peaceful, graceful, and majestic, but not all encounters with these creatures are as serene as they seem. A man was hiking in the woods when he came across a deer just a few meters away. The weather was crisp and cold, with a chill hanging in the air. At first, the deer appeared still, but suddenly it let out a loud, aggressive screech that echoed through the trees. The sound was piercing, something you'd never expect from a creature that typically seems so calm. As the man watched, the deer shook its head violently, its breath visible in the cold, forming thick clouds that hung in the air like smoke. It stomped its foot on the ground, each thud resonating with a sense of warning, as if it was preparing to charge at any moment. The way the animal acted, tense, agitated, was intimidating, especially in such an isolated spot. This wasn't the graceful, gentle deer most people imagine. There are a lot of rare creatures out there, but have you ever heard of a blue cat? This cat is a vibrant, striking blue from head to toe. Everything from its fur to its ears, tongue, teeth, and claws is blue. It's unlike anything most of us have ever seen. How is this biologically possible? I mean, nature could be full of surprises, but this seems almost unreal. The vivid color doesn't look natural for any known species of feline. Some viewers are suggesting that it could be a digital effect or a blue filter, but here's the strange part. The cat is the only thing in the footage that appears blue, while everything else remains untouched by the color shift. Is this a bizarre natural phenomenon? Could it be a new species or just an elaborate digital trick? Have you ever heard of the soldier turtle ant? Well, take a look at this. No, it's not some creature out of a fairy tale. This is a real insect. The soldier turtle ant has a head that is remarkably round and huge in proportion to its body, but there's a reason for this unusual design. The large, shield-like head acts as a door to block the entrances of their nests, helping protect the colony from intruders. It's a perfect biological defense mechanism, as they use their heads to literally close the door on any potential threats. Isn't nature fascinating? This footage is said to have been captured by deep-sea researchers in the Mariana Trench, one of the deepest parts of the ocean. The video shows a tentacled creature with an unnervingly long mouth full of razor-sharp teeth, giving it a terrifying appearance. While the visuals are certainly shocking, something about it feels off. The way the creature moves and the eerie design makes me think it might be AI-generated. With how advanced AI is becoming, it's easy for computer-generated images to blend with reality. What do you think?
My grandfather died.
When did your grandfather die?
Well, since our house is bleeding everywhere, inside of it,
A woman was having a normal conversation with her young daughter when things suddenly took a disturbing turn. As they were talking, the daughter said something chilling. She mentioned that a mother only had 3 kids, even though she has 4. She went on to explain that she isn't her mother's real daughter. Take a look.
You, Legacy, Lolo, and Adrian.
But you don't have 4 kids.
Why?
Oh,
Why not?
you just don't, because I don't live with you.
Did you hear that? It's unsettling, especially when you realize this isn't an isolated case. There have been other instances where children make similar claims, talking about living a different life or have even been reincarnated. What do you think about these kinds of eerie statements? Could they be more than just a child's imagination?
My grandfather died.
When did your grandfather die?
Well, since our house is bleeding everywhere, inside of it,
A hiker found himself lost in the forest when he stumbled upon a strange structure hidden among the trees. Intrigued, he decided to follow it and came across a closed red metal gate. As he approached the gate, a low rumbling sound began to emerge from behind it. The eerie noise echoed in the stillness of the woods, adding to the suspense. The footage abruptly ends there, leaving us with more questions than answers. What could have been hidden behind the gate? Was it some kind of creature or perhaps a machine? The mystery remains unsolved and the possibilities are endless. What do you think it could be?
Happy birthday, dear Bricky.
Happy birthday
To you. Make a wish. Make a wish. Make a wish.
and many more.
Right.
Almost.
Whoa. All right, Jackie.
This girl was celebrating her birthday when her mother gave her a very special gift, a teddy bear dressed like her late father, a firefighter. To make it even more emotional, the bear had a recorded voicemail from her father placed inside. When the girl pressed play and heard her father's voice, she was deeply moved and the room was filled with emotions. But just as the voicemail ended, something strange happened. They all heard a siren coming from one of the rooms. It wasn't just any siren, it came from one of her father's fire truck toys, a part of his collection. The toy was said to be broken, yet at the exact moment as they were all thinking of him, the fire truck went off on its own. I don't know about you, but this gave me serious goosebumps. Could it be more than just a coincidence? What do you think?
So, whatever you can, just come visit me, okay? Okay.
Shut up. No way. That has not worked. That has not worked.
Still on Bigfoot captures, take a look at this capture. Do you notice anything odd? Before you answer, let me give you the backstory of the whole thing. A group of horse riders set out into the woods filming their expedition. The unsuspecting horsemen had a lot of fun, and after they retired home to rewatch the footage, they stumbled upon something in the woods. Hidden in the woods, where you can see the last horse, is the footage of a dark figure. Its imposing silhouette reveals powerful shoulders and a shroud of dark fur. The creature lurked among the leaves and it carefully watched the riders pass by. They all came to the obvious conclusion of what it could be: a Bigfoot. What do you think? Believe me when I tell you this next footage is as exciting as it is frightening. Did you catch what he saw before taking off? It looked like some sort of tiny creature with a small head and some beady eyes. It has an otherworldly appearance, almost like a pixie from the dark realms. As much as I'd love to have footage of one of those creatures, one thing's for sure: there's no Tinkerbell in that creature. That leaves us with a myriad of questions. What exactly is that creature? Why was it hiding in the tree? Are there many more of them? Do they have powers? And should we be wary of them? These and many more are questions we may never get answers to, but what thinkest thou? What do you think we're dealing with? Have you had an encounter with one of these creatures? Please share in the comments. We're eager to hear your thoughts. Let's journey back in time to Italy, where an intriguing incident unfolded on a serene beach. A resident, while taking in the coastal view, was startled to witness a perplexing phenomenon. In a matter of minutes, the tranquil waters that once graced the shoreline began to recede, leaving behind only stretches of bare sand. This unanticipated event prompted questions about our collective actions and their consequences for our beloved planet. It serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance within Earth's natural systems and the potential repercussions of human activity on the environment. The complex interplay between various factors, including climate change, ocean currents, and geological processes, can occasionally manifest in these unusual occurrences. In the footage, we see two bucks frolicking in the wilderness, and they're clearly up to something. Are they playing? Are they having a good-natured scuffle? Frankly, it's tough to tell because with animals, play and tussles can often look quite similar. But the beauty of it all is that this trail cam happened to capture this entertaining moment just before these two buddies scampered off into the woods, their shenanigans adding a dash of humor to the natural world. It's a reminder that the animal kingdom, much like our own, is full of moments that can be both comical and puzzling. Whether it's play, rivalry, or simply a burst of wild energy, these creatures sure know how to keep us guessing and bring a smile to our faces. Before the deer and buck experts come for me, I do admit that I'm nothing but an amateur when it comes to the behaviors of these magnificent creatures, so be kind, please. Oh, this is a delightful surprise. It seems like even the wildlife is getting in on the selfie trend. Our star of the day, a curious Bambi, makes its debut on a trail cam in the heart of the woods. Now picture this. The innocent deer stumbles upon this alien-looking contraption, our trusty trail cam, and it's understandably intrigued. What on earth is this shiny, strange thing? You can almost imagine it thinking. And then the magic happens. Motion sensors do their thing, and click, we got ourselves a charming deer selfie. One can't help but wonder what was going through Bambi's head at that moment. Was it sheer curiosity, maybe a touch of confusion, or perhaps, just maybe, it had a twinge of excitement about joining the ranks of trail cam celebrities? What comes to mind when you see this man? If you said Cyclops, you wouldn't be alone. I mean, he has just one eye. I know there are cases of people born with various physical differences, like one leg or extra limbs due to defects or genetic variations, but in this case, it's tempting to let the imagination wander a bit. Could this be a modern-day Cyclops in the making? In Greek mythology, Cyclops were giants with single, large eyes in the center of their foreheads. They're often depicted as powerful and sometimes menacing beings. In the modern world, however, when it comes to individuals born with a single eye, it's typically a result of a congenital condition known as cyclopia. Cyclopia is a rare and serious birth defect where during the early stages of development, the baby forms only one eye instead of the usual two. It happens when the eye sockets don't fully separate like they should while the embryo is growing. So yes, this man can be called a Cyclops, except he's not a giant. On second thoughts, I don't think it'll be nice to call him that, assuming the video isn't actually a hoax, but do let us know what you think. Someone filmed this strange creature in the woods. At first glance, you'd see a Sasquatch, but a second look will reveal it's its canine cousin, if you can call it that. Many who saw it are convinced we're dealing with the Dogman, and looking at it, I can understand why they think that. The creature looks a lot like Husky, if you know what I mean. This also has got some talking in the paranormal community that we could be dealing with a werewolf instead. There are some who also believe that this is a hoax. Yes, by some, I mean our good old skeptics. But what do you guys think? Is this a genuine encounter with a cryptid, or is this simply an attempt to mislead us? Share your thoughts. As we ponder over whatever creature was out there in the woods, let's take a look at this footage of a creature we all know very well. But for those now joining us, this creature right here is Bigfoot. These paranormal creatures, with features reminiscent of both apes and humans, are said to inhabit the mountains and woodlands. This footage was taken of the said creature on a trail cam. This dark-furred behemoth, standing at a towering 7 feet or more, gracefully ambles across an open field with its head lowered. There have been times when people stage Bigfoot sightings just for fun, be it a person in a costume or CGI. In this case, it looks like a person in a costume. What do you think? Looks like today's footage is just a series of mysteries, because even in our penultimate clip, we have a mystery that we have no answers to. A property owner who just bought the land decided to drive the drone over his land to check it out. Once the drone was airborne, he began scanning the area, and that's when he stumbled upon something truly unusual. In the middle of the woods on the property was an abandoned house. The sight of the house in the middle of nowhere, far away from civilization, creeped him out, and he started asking questions. Guess what? No one knows whose house it is. One thing is for sure, though, it's abandoned and falling apart. Who knows what might have happened there? Personally, this house gives me the creeps from those horror movies about an abandoned house in the middle of the woods. Nothing good ever comes of that. In the shots inside the car, you see the driver and another person chilling in the front seat. All normal. Now, if you know anything about our channel, it's that we don't do normal, and the road shots say it all. Initially, it's just an empty street, but a few seconds later, and bam! Out of nowhere, a strange figure materializes on the road. You can see it in a few pictures, and then it vanishes into thin air. If it were me, I'd be scared out of my wits. Aaron believes this is a legitimate encounter. But what's your take? During an eclipse on October the 4th, 2023, someone managed to capture not just the usual sun and moon show, but another bright sphere hanging out behind the sun. Do you see it? Can you guess its name? No? Well, it's allegedly called Nibiru. I know you might be confused, so let's delve into the Nibiru conspiracy theory. The conspiracy states that there's this made-up planet called Nibiru, or Planet X, and it's supposedly heading straight for Earth, bringing all sorts of disasters with it. But here's the thing. Scientists and astronomers have looked into it, and they say no real evidence for this planet or any danger of a collision exists. In short, it's a theory that's been widely disapproved by the experts. Now, we all know that the government has been up to no good these days, hiding a lot of information from the public. Who is to say that this is also one of the things they want to hide from us? In this footage, we are presented with an environment that appears arid and barren, devoid of the lushness typically associated with vibrant ecosystems. Yet as the camera captures the scene, our attention is drawn to a subtle movement in the distance, a dark figure against the stark backdrop. Could this enigmatic figure be none other than the legendary Bigfoot? The individual who captured the footage believes so. Many in the paranormal community shared the same sentiments. Some even point out that while it has a human-like gait, it covers more distance in a short time than a human could have, making them believe that it's a Bigfoot. Personally, it's hard for me to put my finger on it, but it looks most probable. The only issue here is that Bigfoot isn't known to show itself in the open like this creature's doing. Could it be a human in a suit, or is this the real deal? Share your thoughts with me. I'd love to hear them. In the heart of the woods, where locals' beliefs intertwine with mystery, we delve into a chilling tale. A video unfolds revealing two bikers relishing a day of camaraderie on their bikes. Yet their day takes a sudden dark turn when they stumble upon a trap set to ensnare them. With quick reflexes, they avert danger, but questions loom. Who would scheme against them in these depths? Is there a malevolent force at play? A part of me feels not. Perhaps someone set the trap to hurt someone and they were just unfortunate, or rather fortunate, to run into it. They might have disarmed the trap at that point in time, but what's to stop the person from trying again and using a thinner and more invisible wire? If you're enjoying this episode and haven't hit the like and subscribe buttons already, this would be a good time to do so. Thank you for doing so, because it means a lot. Have you ever walked into your office and everything was out of place even though every single person went home? Perhaps you should watch this footage. A security camera fixed in an office captured the mysterious events that unfolded whilst everyone was away from the office. In this black and white footage, we observe one office chair following another, moving to the far end of the room. It's eerie because there's no one sitting in these chairs. They seem to move on their own. Could it be the presence of spirits that can only act under the moonlight? Well, all who saw the footage believes that's exactly what we're seeing. Others stated that it could actually be a glitch in the Matrix, but we've had a lot of them today. I call this one out to be a paranormal event. What about you? Had any such experiences? Care to share in the comments section? We'd really love to read. Next, let's venture into the world of paranormal investigations. Two brave souls from the YouTube channel Haunted Nights decided to explore the eerie Broadwell funeral home in Felicity, Ohio. Little did they know they'd capture something rather peculiar. Amid their investigation, as one of them stands before the camera chattering away about the spooky surroundings, something unexpected saunters by in the background. Blink and you might miss it, but it's there. Now this entity is a bit of a mystery, isn't it? From what we can discern, it's pretty distant, making it challenging to pinpoint its exact features. However, it does seem to have an ethereal quality to it, a ghostly presence, if you will. They have a seance later, and whatever paranormal being that was communicates with them. So could this be one of the elusive spirits that call this haunted place home? I'm tempted to believe so. What would you do if you were in their position? Would you continue to explore, or would you get the hell out of the place? Imagine you go into an abandoned tunnel with a group of friends to explore, only to come face to face with this hideous creature, some kind of dragon-like monster of some sort. Well, stop imagining. The uploader of our next video apparently lived it out. In the footage, we see a weird-looking creature going after the one with the camera. The creature's skin looks dark, like an eel's. Its tiny eyes glow from the reflection of the light. It has a crown on its head and two antennas sticking from its sides of its mouth. The creature with tiny legs and a snake-like slither emerges from the darkness, approaching two men. If dragons existed, they may bear some semblance to this creature. In fact, one person in our team believes it's the real deal, but if you ask me, it just looks like a case of very good CGI. Impressive, don't you think so? Well, it seems like we've stumbled upon a digital mystery. In the vast wilderness of the internet, it's not uncommon to come across intriguing footage that leaves us scratching our heads. Take this, for instance, a Trailcam recording that appears to capture a creature that's not quite like anything we've seen before. At first glance, it might resemble a monkey, but upon closer inspection, there's something curious about its appearance, and then the aha moment hits. It's all a clever work of CGI. They almost had us there, didn't they? It's a testament to the incredible strides in technology that continue to blur the lines between reality and imagination. In a world where CGI can make the unbelievable look almost believable, it's no wonder that we occasionally find ourselves caught in the web of digital artistry. Next, we have security camera footage that's nothing short of intriguing. Let's have a look. In the clip, we see a quiet street in an ordinary town captured by the watchful eye of a security camera. At first glance, it's business as usual, no surprises here. But hold onto your hats because the plot thickens. Within mere seconds, the ordinary takes a spine-chilling twist. A peculiar dark figure materializes right in the middle of the road, a presence that seems almost otherworldly, and then, as swiftly as it appeared, it vanished. Sure, we live in an age of advanced technology capable of conjuring illusions with ease, but there is an unsettling quality to this footage, isn't there? Something about the way the figure vanishes in perfect sync with the approaching rider sends shivers down the spine. The footage might not have been captured in HD, but if it were doctored, we should be able to see the discrepancies, shouldn't we? Does this make this real? If it does, what was that and what was it doing in the street? Please share your thoughts with us. For our next capture, we visit the woods. The capture reveals a forest with smaller tree trunks and an abundance of lush green leaves, suggesting it might be a woodland area with year-round rainfall or water supply. All seems greener on that side until our focus is shifted to the elephant, or rather, the creature in the middle. It's clear that's no elephant. That was simply me being figurative. My English teacher would be so proud. Anyway, that creature is clearly in motion, causing a dark blur. But what exactly is it? Some speculate that it could be none other than one of the members of the big cat family, the Black Panther. Taking a second look at it, well, I'm skeptical. I'm tempted to believe it could be something more, perhaps a skinwalker transforming or something along those lines. What say you? Still on mysterious finds and captures, there's only one creature that tops the list. Yes, you guessed right, the Bigfoot. Now check out this image captured in the remote woodlands of Alberta, Canada. The photographer is convinced it's none other than Bigfoot. Since the image was taken from a considerable distance, discerning the creature's features beyond its thick, dark fur is a challenge. Moreover, this creature is sizable. While some might speculate it's a bear or gorilla, the region isn't known for hosting these animals. That leaves us with the intriguing possibility of Bigfoot. Some think there's no fur at all, and we're simply looking at a large rock. What are your thoughts, as we'd like to know? Let's move away from the Bigfoot sightings and take a look at this magnificent black wolf. This particular footage was taken at Yellowstone Park. A huge wolf emerges from the woods onto the road. Its size unmistakably reveals a dominant male wolf. Adult wolves typically weigh between 60 and 70 pounds, with the largest ever recorded reaching a staggering 143 pounds. While these wolves are undeniably beautiful, encountering them up close can be perilous, as they are formidable predators capable of causing serious harm. The person who took this footage was in a car, keeping a safe distance. I know you want to pet it, but if you ever see a wolf, do what this person did, keep a safe distance. And no, that's not Jason from Twilight. Now brace yourself for a peculiar scene. In this footage, where a man gets his mouth wide open, stretched to the max, it's like he's on the verge of throwing up. But here's the kicker. Instead of regular sounds, he's letting out these eerie, otherworldly tones. Hang on, though, because it gets even stranger. According to the source, the man isn't just having a bizarre moment. No. He's apparently in the process of turning into a goat. Yeah, you heard that right. A goat. Now, I'm not a shapeshifter expert, but turning into a goat sounds like the plot of a supernatural drama, and I'm all for it. What's your take on this bizarre transformation? Goat man on the loose, or just a creative hoax in action? Here we've got this van that's causing a stir on the internet. If you're wondering why, take a look.
这个是一个75乘1米的哈，长安款的，福特款的呢？
You see it, don't you? Yeah, that looks like an oven at the back of the van. It should not exist, but there it is. As strange as that is in itself, here's what's puzzling people. The opening is big enough to fit a human in there. The big question on everyone's mind, what on earth could a human-sized oven in the back of a van be for? It's not exactly your typical barbecue setup, so what is it? Some in the community believe it might be a mobile crematorium. Yeah, you heard that correctly, a crematorium on wheels. Could it be truly a crematorium, or is there something that we're missing? Please do share your thoughts in the comments section.
这个是一个75乘1米的哈，长安款的，福特款的呢？
For our next clip, we have what can only be described as a mystery. Take a look. In this footage, we're transported to a misty forest where a mix of fully grown trees and partially chopped ones creates an eerie atmosphere. As the camera pans, our attention is drawn to an unusual sight between the trees. According to the uploader, there's a weird-looking creature there. He speculates it's ape-like, but not large enough to be a Sasquatch. Personally, though, I've looked at it several times and failed to see anything beyond the dark shadow. Do you? If you do, please describe it in the comments section. In this footage, we witness a figure donning blue boots navigating through cluttered surroundings, their determination unwavering despite the ominous atmosphere. With each step, the explorer delves deeper into the mysterious realm, the obscurity of the environment offering only fleeting glimpses of their surroundings. Despite the eerie ambience, this brave individual proceeds with a sense of purpose, seemingly undisturbed by the enigmatic setting. If you listen attentively, you should hear the peculiar sounds that disrupt the tranquility and silence of the night that should accompany the scene. The explorer starts off confident, but soon the explorer's confidence wavers, replaced by a primal instinct of self-preservation. This response is relatable. When confronted with the unfamiliar, our innate fight-or-flight response often takes over. Amid the uncertainty, whispers of words, perhaps prayers or expressions of vulnerability can be heard. If I were in his shoes, I would pray too. But what could have been responsible for that noise? Unfortunately, we don't have the answers. Do you? We've heard of the Fountain of Youth and know loads about it, but has anyone of you ever heard about a miracle rock? No? Well, watch this clip. Someone burns this strange black stone and a clear liquid appears. Then they smear it on a cut on their hand, which appears to have a cut on it. After a few seconds, the cut closes up. Imagine how many lives we could help if this was real. Well, according to the one who uploaded this footage, it exists and it's called the Bangfa stone. Yeah, I hadn't heard of it either, but they claim it's found in the Amazon forest and has great healing properties. I mean, we'd be doing extensive research into this, so subscribe and like if you haven't already. But until the findings of our research are out, what do you think? Is this real, or do you believe it's a hoax? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Está flotando este pájaro. No se mueve. Dios mío, ¿qué es esto? ¿Qué es esto?
Here's a curious tale. This man stumbled upon a bird stuck mid-air in the sky. The bird is just hanging there, wings spread wide, not moving an inch. Before we start questioning reality, there might be a simpler explanation. Birds, especially hawks or eagles, sometimes catch rising air currents to stay suspended without flapping much. It's their way of saving energy while keeping an eye on things. So even though it might feel like a scene from a sci-fi movie, there's a good chance it's just a bird taking a break up there. I know it's a big stretch, but well, who knows? Aaron believes it's a glitch in the Matrix, but share your thoughts too. Unlike the previous footage where we had an explanation for the strange creature in the cage, this next footage remains a mystery. In 2019, a stranded whale was discovered on a sandbar. Despite the presence of a beach in the area, the considerable distance between the sandbar and the beach raised questions about how the whale ended up there. For the whale to get there, there must be a tide of some sort of flood that carried it to the groove, but there were no records of a flood. So how did this huge creature get there? Well, the experts believe the tide was responsible. Do you agree? Or do you think a paranormal or extraterrestrial being is responsible? Next, we have a capture that's sure to give you chills. Amidst the lush woods and verdant meadows, our recorder encounters an atmosphere teeming with mystery as the footage unfolded. First, he discovers a gathering of branches that seem to have been arranged into a makeshift shelter, yet left untouched by human hands. However, nature's symphony took an eerie turn as strange noises began to resonate from the depths of the woods, prompting a hasty retreat. However, the allure of the unknown compelled him to press on, undeterred by the eerie soundscape. When the enigmatic sounds resurfaced, the camera's gaze was fixated upon the source, revealing a creature of mystery lurking among the trees. Even the tiniest insects and towering trees in the forest seemed to share a collective sense of trepidation, echoing the fear emanating from this enigmatic presence. Despite the pulse-quickening encounters and the primal instincts urging retreat, our brave traveler stood resolute. Yet there comes a time when even the boldest souls heed the warnings whispered by the wilderness. After a few scares and ultimately seeing what was behind the eerie sounds, he takes to his heels, literally. A slow-mo of the capture reveals the creature responsible for it all, a dark, cloaked figure towering among the trees. This leaves us with more questions than answers. What do you think this creature is? Some have suggested a skinwalker and others a shapeshifter. What say you? Do you think the whole thing is real at all? Share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Our next footage is what I like to consider a rarity among the rare. Take a look. It's as though an unseen force, a celestial presence hidden behind the pristine white clouds, exhales a gentle breath. This ethereal exhale triggers a remarkable phenomenon, the detachment of a cloud from its companions. The cloud appears to drift away, moving independently against the sky's canvas. What could possibly lead to such an enchanting occurrence? Are we truly witnessing celestial beings interacting with the clouds? Well, apparently not. According to experts, this happens more often than we know. It's nothing more than a crown flash. If you're just as confused as I was when I heard it, allow me to explain. Crown flash is a type of optical phenomenon that can occur during thunderstorms or other atmospheric conditions. It involves a brief and localized change in the appearance of lightning, usually near the top of a thunderstorm cloud. This phenomenon could take the form of a series of flashes or a circular or crown-shaped pattern of light. If that confused you, don't worry. I will start a science channel soon for us to learn about these strange things. Now, here's a TikTok video uploaded by the user Sleep with Horror that left many scared, perplexed, and intrigued at the same time. In the footage, you can spot a farmer out on his farm at night, likely going to tend his noisy animals. Suddenly, all of his animals bolt in one direction. But why is the farmer running away too? What did he see? If you look at the direction from which the animals were fleeing, you'll notice a dark-furred creature sprinting at top speed. There's, however, not much to see, so we can only speculate. It looks like it could be a wild animal, possibly a panther or a wolf, which would certainly make anyone run. However, there are other speculations. Some suggest that what the farmer witnessed might be a creature from our folktales, a dogman, rake, skinwalker, or even a chupacabra. These days, it seems like anything is possible. What's your take? This next footage comes from Czechoslovakia and was recorded back in 2015 when a curious man ventured into the woods for a hike. While he was walking deeper into the woods, he heard a strange sound. The sound was like a cry from an animal. It wasn't exactly a howl, neither was it a bark or a growl. Listening to the sound, you can tell it's coming from a pretty big creature. In any normal circumstance, you would expect him to run out of there, but no, he walks straight towards the sound to investigate. As he ventured deeper, he encountered broken tree branches and enormous tracks that looked like human footprints, but much larger and deeper in the earth. This indicates that who or whatever it is must be very heavy. Sensing the sounds drawing nearer, the hiker wisely cut his adventure short, scared that he might come face to face with something he wasn't prepared for. When this man uploaded this footage, people were quick with different theories. Some said it was the infamous Dogman, others said it was the legendary Bigfoot. Someone mentioned that it could be a human-eating troll, while some took a much more scientific explanation, saying that the sound was from the collision of two wind currents. But if that was the case, then what explanation do you have for the tracks that were found there as well? But in all, I'm glad the man left there, because who knows what he would have come face to face with if he stayed to find out. This next footage is one that has me scratching my head. Take a look. You see it, don't you? The scene is in a remote, misty place, making the landscape captivating. In this setting, a tall, white, well-built figure appears, sparking curiosity. This mysterious apparition has led to speculation, with theories like an albino Sasquatch or a cloaked Bigfoot being discussed. Looking at it though, I don't see any of these things. I simply think it's a man in a costume trying to get some views. What about you? Still on ghostly captures, take a look at this next footage. Before the unusual events unfold, this video captures a male figure in his home confidently moving from the door to what appears to be a kitchenette. As he moves around the counter, there's no one else in sight. Suddenly, a turquoise green bag falls from the counter. He returns to place the bag back on the counter. On his way back to the kitchen area, he passes by a chair, and just like that, it begins to move counterclockwise without any physical force, intention, or strength. This can only mean one thing: this house is haunted. It explains why, at the beginning of the video, we see him gazing into the room with curiosity. He doesn't seem perplexed, at least not as much as I'd expect him to be. Is this a regular for him, or does he simply have tough skin? Guess we'll never really know for sure. You know, we put up gates around our homes for a reason: security. But it seems like even the most fortified gates can't keep the truly mysterious at bay. This time, it's a security camera that decided to spill the beans on something downright eerie. The footage starts in a quiet residential street where we are shown a perfectly good gate. Out of the blue, a shirtless man strolls into the scene. But here's the kicker: he doesn't do the usual thing like knocking or calling out for someone inside the house. Nope, he casually walks right through the gate like it's no more than a curtain fluttering in the breeze. Now you might be wondering, how on earth is that even possible? Well, combining our knowledge in physics, biology, psychology, and chemistry, the answer is simple. We don't know. That leaves room for only one explanation: the paranormal. Here we have another footage of the strange noise from the sky. In this video footage, a woman records a loud and strange noise coming from the sky outside her home. Curious and slightly unnerved, the woman went outside to record the sound. The noise continued for a while before eventually stopping. Some few moments later, it began again, and she went outside to record it once more. These sounds are haunting and eerie. Some people believe these sounds could be linked to the end of the world as described in the Bible. Specifically, they point to the sound of the trumpet as a sign of the apocalypse. However, others believe that there could be other explanations for these strange occurrences. What are your thoughts, though? Do you believe that these sounds could be a sign of the end of times, or do you think that there are other explanations for these strange occurrences? There are theories of strange chemicals in our air and even metals. Could that be why this group of individuals are standing out with metal detectors in their hands? It sounds weird, but the original posts seem to suggest so. As you can see in the footage, these people are all standing outside on a field, holding metal detectors above their heads with hope of detecting any metal. However, as you listen to the footage, you can hear these strange sounds coming from the devices. But looking at the devices, are they not beeping because they're detecting each other? The devices are made of metal. However, a commenter made this comment. As someone who has metal detected as a hobby for 4+ years, they aren't going off because of metal in the air. The reasons all the detectors are going off is because they're ringing off of each other. This happens all the time and is very annoying if you're metal detecting with someone else in a small space. This is another fear lingering post. While there may be some theories about the presence of strange metals or chemicals in our atmosphere, this particular exercise may not be the best way to verify such claims. Still on heavenly bodies, this footage was recorded from the International Space Station. And what do we see? Strange glowing orbs just hanging out up there. Now the big question is, are we dealing with some kind of extraterrestrial craft, or are these orbs actually celestial entities? The space around Earth is populated with satellites, space debris, and other objects. Glowing lights could be reflections of these objects, especially when caught in the sunlight. But we cannot rule out the possibility of extraterrestrial crafts out there, because just like Nibiru, there might be some truth to these conspiracies, or do you think I'm losing it at this point? Stepping away from the height department, let's take a look at this smooth heist. Two thieves roll up to someone's place and one of them is wielding an antenna. Now, you might be thinking, what's with the antenna? Well, these crafty folks are using it to boost the connection between the car inside the house and the electric car parked outside. So as soon as they get the connection, the car opens and they can drive away with it like they own it. Now, to outsmart these high-tech bandits, the tip is to keep your car keys in a metal container or a special pouch away from your car. Those who leave their keys by the door are basically giving these thieves a VIP pass to a free ride. At least, that's what Julius told me. Can anyone confirm this? In a small town located in South Africa, an unusual and fascinating creature was spotted by some residents. According to eyewitnesses, the creature appeared to be a mermaid with a blue fish tail. It was seen above the water, and it raises its tail before dropping back into the water and swimming away. Conversations about these creatures always start a debate, and this was no different. While some people believe that mermaids are real, others are convinced that they're simply a myth and don't exist. Some viewers even suggest that the creature in question might have been a siren instead of a mermaid, as sirens are also known to inhabit the ocean and have similar traits to mermaids. Despite the debate, many viewers who saw the footage of the mermaid were adamant that it was a genuine sighting and that the creature was, in fact, a mermaid. However, some skeptics argued that it was likely a person in a costume and the footage could have been staged. Looking at the unnatural way it moves in the water, I'm tempted to believe it's true, but that's perhaps just me. What do you think about this fascinating sighting? Do you believe it's the real deal, or do you think that it's just a hoax? Share your thoughts. A group of fishermen had a unique catch recently that has left many intrigued. They managed to catch a landsfish from the ocean, which is a rare species of fish that is not often seen. The fish was long and slender with a silver body that shimmered in the sunlight. Its most notable feature was a set of long fins on its back that resembled a sail, giving it a distinctive appearance. Despite its striking appearance, the fishermen were initially unsure what type of fish it was. Some speculated that it could be a hybrid of a barracuda and a sailfish. Looking at it, I can see why they think that. Someone even said that it was a result of underwater nuclear testing. However, after some research, we confirmed that it was truly a lancetfish. For those unfamiliar with it, it's a deep-sea fish that is known to live at depths of up to 1,500 meters. They're known for their elongated and slender bodies, sharp teeth, and long dorsal fin that runs the length of their body. They're often found in the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and are known to be formidable predators, feeding on a variety of smaller fish and squid. Cool, huh?
That's a gnarly... See you later, bud.
Brace yourself for this next one. There's a baby with black eyes, and no, it's not some edited clip or visual trick. It's a real baby. Now, we're not talking about the creepy black-eyed kids thing here. So what could be going on? Well, we don't actually know for sure, beyond the fact that the one who sent it in insists he was there when it was recorded. Some folks who saw the clip are guessing that the baby might have experienced some kind of trauma, making the eyes look dark. They speculate it would get better after a few days. Others are saying that perhaps the baby just has larger pupils that will grow into those eyes over time. Now, I haven't heard of that before, but neither has anyone I know seen this before as well. It's one of those things that sparks a lot of speculation and different ideas. This situation, however, is something that has been observed quite frequently in recent times. A lot of recent childbirths result in these babies looking like they're auditioning for a role in an Exorcist movie. What do you think could be going on? Wondering what's happening here? Well, this footage is apparently from Texas, and the whole vicinity was closed off because of low oxygen levels. This resulted in thousands of fish washing up ashore. But it didn't end there. Japan also faced the same situation, where fish were also washed up ashore because of low oxygen levels. What on earth is causing this? The truth is, no one could give us a single convincing answer. So is it something environmental, like changes in water conditions or pollution, or could we be dealing with some underwater cosmic event that's got fish feeling breathless? Whatever it is, it's making waves, not the good kind.
What's that? Can you hear that noise?
8 years ago, a YouTube channel, Marty Dennison, posted this footage online. It was strange trumpet noises echoing from the sky. The whole household came to listen to it, and this was in Sydney. The phenomenon was, however, heard in various parts of the world. But what are these sounds, and why are people hearing them all over the world? Well, I did some digging and came across some information. According to the American Academy of Audiology, they are called skyquakes. While numerous theories have been proposed to explain the phenomenon, there is still no definitive explanation that has been universally accepted by researchers. Some of the most prominent of theories state that skyquakes could be caused by seismic activity such as earthquakes or volcanic eruptions. Another possibility is that they're caused by atmospheric changes like thunder or lightning. It's also possible that they may be caused by the interaction of ocean waves with the Earth's crust. Some people have suggested more unconventional explanations for skyquakes, including sonic booms generated by military aircraft or atmospheric disturbances caused by electromagnetic phenomena. Despite the many ideas that have been put forward, skyquakes remain a mystery. What do you make of the whole thing?
What is that?
So scary.
Next, we visit a beach in Venezuela where a peculiar phenomenon occurred. The sand on the beach was seen to be shifting and rumbling, creating a commotion among the people present. As the ground opened up, it revealed a strange-looking object that appeared to be rising from beneath the sand. The object was massive, and its shape was difficult to discern due to the sand still clinging to it. There are many speculations about what it could be. Some suggested that it could be nothing but a natural disaster, perhaps a landslide or earthquake waiting to happen. A few people speculated that it could be some creature living underground that was coming out to the surface. Some even went as far as suggesting that it could be an alien ship emerging from the sand. In the absence of any official report, the incident remains a mystery, and people continue to speculate about what it could have been. Having seen the clip, what do you think we're dealing with? And now here's a true mystery to ponder. This image was sent in by a subscriber who states he's had over 30 trail cams for about 10 years, yet has been left puzzled by this capture on one of his cams. He wants us to help him identify it, and we thought, well, who better to do so than our audience who double as wildlife experts? In the image, we see what looks like the back of a creature. Can you identify it? Do you know its name and species? Do you know any rare facts about it? If you do, then your task is simple. Name what it is, give us a rare fact about it, and we'll review it. If you're indeed right, your name shall be immortalized among the few names of individuals on this channel who have succeeded in identifying our bonus content. When writing out your answer, start with bonus footage so we easily identify it among the comments. The answer with the most accurate description with the most convincing reason will win a feature in our next video. All the best. Have you ever pondered the concept of the Matrix? Could we all be living in a simulation? Well, watch this next clip and tell me what you think. In the clip, we see an airplane, right? But it's just hanging there in the sky, frozen in place. Now, I'm no aviation expert, but I'm pretty sure planes are supposed to move. But for some reason, this one's just chilling, defying the laws of physics. Could this be an actual glitch in the Matrix, or is it simply an optical illusion? Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear it.
Oh, here's another one right here. You see him? Flying right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
A family in California saw this peculiar-looking star moving in the sky using night vision glasses. The strange-looking stars were moving in the clouds as the people used green lasers to follow their movement. At a certain point, it blinked light and continued moving. It's pretty obvious by now that that is not a star up there. Some netizens said it was a drone. Someone also says it's a UFO, but not an alien, just something in the sky. And some were very certain that this was an alien, even going further to say they have been seeing them all the time. What do you think, though? Alien or something else entirely? Share your thoughts.
Flying right over our heads. Pointing it right at him. And now he's turning.
Ooh,
yeah.
Flashed.
Yeah, you see him?
Yeah, it just flashed.
I'm lasering at him.
Our next clip opens up with an unusual object falling from the sky. The object appears to be a glowing cloud-like mass resembling a balloon more than a typical cloud. It's purple with an orange, fiery color and has a strange, unexplainable shape. The object can be seen rotating in the sky as it moves. At first, many thought it could be something otherworldly, perhaps a UFO. Looking at the clip, it's understandable why they think that. It looks like something that will come out from a spaceship or something alien. While many were buying into the idea, members of the scientific community stated that it could be wreckage from one of the SpaceX launches that were ejected into space and are now falling back to Earth. Looking at the clip, this looks like the more plausible explanation for what we are seeing. Either that or there's some serious alien camouflage. Still on strange sightings, take a look at this next footage. The footage starts with a footballer celebrating what appears to be the win of the current game they're playing. It's a moment of sheer joy as he runs deeper into the field. But pay attention to his jersey. See that? The numbers change about 3 times. Let's slow it down for a detailed look. From 18 to what seems like 2J and finally 21. Strange, isn't it? But is there an explanation for it? Well, some who saw it believe the footage is doctored, whereas others believe we could actually be dealing with yet another glitch in the Matrix. But let's take a second look at the footage. Now, what are your personal opinions about it? Tell us in the comments section. Our journey through the mysterious realms of Trailcam captures brings us to an intriguing photograph. In this image, we encounter a creature with dark, goat-like features, its gaze fixed directly upon the camera lens. At first glance, one might dismiss it as a common goat. However, seasoned viewers of this channel are well aware of the Trailcam's uncanny ability to unveil creatures that hide beneath the guise of ordinary animals. There's an undeniable eeriness about the creature's gaze, a sensation that sends shivers down the spine, not the kind one would welcome. It evokes a peculiar sense of foreboding reminiscent of the infamous skinwalker phenomenon. As much as we'd love to tell you it's one of these, after scouring the internet, we discovered that this horned ruminant is actually a real animal species. It's called the soala, and it was only discovered in Vietnam in the 1990s. Cool, huh? If you still haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip. Have you heard about the innovative building constructed in Japan by the renowned Nendo Studio? This incredible structure has been designed to play a pivotal role in reducing carbon emissions and absorbing CO2 from the environment. The building has been constructed using a special type of concrete known as CO2 silicon, which has been engineered to minimize the release of harmful gases during production. The walls of this house have been made from state-of-the-art concrete, making it a pioneering example of eco-friendly architecture. By embracing technologies like this, we can take a significant step toward mitigating the environmental impact of traditional concrete production. What do you think about the future of construction? Do you see this as a game-changing development in the field? Has the recent AI craze got you worried about computers taking over the world? Well, I hate to do this, but your worries are about to get a whole lot bigger. Intel has just rolled out Hala Point, and it's a big deal in the world of neuromorphic computing. This beast is the largest neuromorphic computer ever made, boasting 1,152 Lothi-2 chips. These chips mimic a whopping 1.15 billion artificial neurons and a mind-boggling 128 billion synapses spread across a whopping 140,544 processing cores. This means it can handle a staggering 20 quadrillion operations per second, which is a huge leap from Intel's previous system, Pahokee Springs. Hala Point blows it out of the water, offering over 10 times the neuron capacity and up to 12 times higher performance. Why does this matter? Well, it's a game changer when it comes to the hefty computing costs of training AI models. With Hala Point, Intel aims to slash the time and resources needed to train these models. This could mean big improvements in AI applications across industries like healthcare, finance, and transportation. This is a major milestone in neuromorphic computing. Its impressive processing power and massive neuron capacity could change the game for AI training and deployment. It's a sign of exciting things to come in the world of computing. Unless AI goes bad and attacks us, of course, but that will never happen, right? Hold on to your history books because things are about to get wild. Scientists are on a mission to bring back the woolly mammoth. You know, those giant furry elephants that went extinct ages ago. Now, this information has been going around for a while. It sounds like a fairy tale when it started, but not anymore. These scientists believe that in just 4 years, we could have woolly mammoths casually strolling the earth with us. Sounds unbelievable, I know. But would you be down for some mammoth meet and greet, or is this a bit too much of a Jurassic Park vibe for comfort? Next, we have this towering figure, a real-life, modern-day giant. Meet this 24-year-old gentleman who hails from Pakistan and is breaking records in the height department. He stands head and shoulders above the crowd, making quite the impression. It's like he's living in a world of his own up there. Exceptionally tall people often garner attention due to their unique physical characteristics. Human height can be influenced by various factors, including genetics, nutrition, and overall health. But some are naturally tall without any underlying medical conditions. What's your take on this towering individual? A real-life giant, or just someone who's exceptionally good at reaching for the top shelf? A Reddit user recently shared an intriguing image on the platform. The user had bought some blueberries and was enjoying them when she noticed a strange marking on one of the berries. Upon closer inspection, she realized that the marking was a set of numbers, well written and too small to be written by hand. What's more, the numbers seem to be made by a machine, which is unusual as food items are not typically marked with serial numbers. As the image went viral, many people started offering explanations for the strange marking on the berry. Most of the commenters suggested that the berry was attached to the packaging when the company was laser printing on it. This explanation seemed plausible, as laser printing is a common way of marking products with serial numbers. However, some people still wondered if there was something more sinister going on. Such individuals suspected the government might be messing with our foods and changing our bodies. It's possible that the marking on the berry was simply a result of the laser printing process, as many suggested. However, it's also possible that this was a deliberate act and that someone intentionally marked the berry with a serial number. But why? Well, we don't know. That's the mystery. Your thoughts on this are welcome. On the night of April the 4th, 2024, a surveillance camera in Idaho captured an unusual sight in someone's backyard. The footage shows a craft flying over the property which appeared to have 6 vertical lights. Although the camera quality is not great due to the darkness, the lights are clearly visible. The rest of the craft is difficult to make out, leaving the shape and size a mystery. The owner of the footage is convinced that it was a UFO, given the current hype around UFO sightings on the internet. However, it's difficult to say for sure what it is without further evidence or analysis. It's possible that it could have been a normal aircraft, but the unusual light formation suggests otherwise. What do you think? So the owner of a remote property sets up her surveillance camera for safety, and what does it capture? A strange entity zooming across the camera. This entity was in a long robe that swept the floor and covered it from head to toe. In its head, some of the robes were even flying in the air as the entity moved. Now, the property owner was very alarmed when he saw the footage. This entity looked very weird, and its movements were very eerie, almost as if it was floating and gliding at the same time. What do you reckon it could be? Please do share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section. A trail camera captured this creature in the woods. This has to be a bipedal wolf-like creature. That's a lot of words jumbled up together, but I know you get me. Just look at its snout and hairy body. From the waist down, it appears to be human. The darkness makes it hard to see, but we can see enough. I mean, take a look at its knee. So what could it be? Well, two things come to mind. The first originates from spooky stories and folklore, suggesting it might be a werewolf or a dogman. You know, the creatures that often show up in eerie tales. The weird features of this creature kind of support that idea. Aaron believes it's definitely a dogman, and I can't argue with him on that. The second thing that comes to mind has to do with the more skeptical folks. Some were already in the original post asking, hey, could this be a person in a costume pulling off a prank in the deep, dark forest? Instead of arguing these things out, tell us what you think. Dogman, costume, hoax? Be blunt. We'll be reading in the comments. Recently, a group of people on a boat ride in a river came across an alligator making its way toward them. The passengers began filming the scene because, well, why not? But as the alligator got closer, the situation became increasingly tense. They noticed he was out for blood. Without warning, the alligator leapt out of the water, clearly attempting to get into the boat or at least grab one of the passengers. Naturally, the passengers were taken aback and quickly backed away as the reptile landed on the side of the boat and then fell off. Alligators are massive in size, with an average length of 13 feet and can weigh up to 1,000 pounds. However, they're also known to be dangerous predators, capable of causing serious harm to humans and animals alike. Thankfully, no one was hurt. If you intend to visit a place with gators, let this be your cue to be extra safe out there. Take a moment to admire the sheer size and beauty of the Tibetan Mastiff, a truly magnificent breed of dog. With its thick, long, and luxurious brown fur, muscular build, and regal appearance, this breed is considered one of the largest dogs in the world. Originated from the lofty mountains of Tibet, these majestic canines have been bred for centuries to guard livestock and property and are known for their courage, loyalty, and independence. They're highly intelligent and have a strong protective instinct, making them excellent watchdogs. The Tibetan Mastiffs are calm and patient, but they can be stubborn at times. They require plenty of exercise and mental stimulation to stay healthy and happy. They're also known to be quite vocal and will bark loudly if they sense any potential threats. Despite their imposing size and appearance, the Tibetan Mastiff is a gentle and loving breed that thrives with human companionship. They're great with children and make loyal and protective family pets. Whether you're a dog lover or simply appreciate the beauty and majesty of nature's creatures, the Tibetan Mastiff is truly a sight to behold. Do you believe the dead still lurk around their homes and family? If you said no and actually believe it's ridiculous, how do you explain this? This photo captures a Western family of 6 in their living room, as evidenced by the television in the background. At first glance, it's a heartwarming portrayal of unity and love. However, upon closer inspection, we notice a 7th presence. The family didn't notice this until they went over the image they had taken on the day. You might be wondering what's wrong with having grandma in the pic, right? Well, the point is, there's not to be a grandma in it, not because she wasn't invited, but because they couldn't invite her. Grandma had passed on, yet here she was in their picture. They couldn't believe it, and it scared and excited them at the same time. The picture was uploaded online, and many shared sympathies with them. There were some, however, who believed this whole story was simply false. What say you? We find ourselves in another captivating moment, this time brought to us by a curious observer from the realms of Reddit. The scene unfolds against the backdrop of a mountainous landscape where our eyes are drawn to an enigmatic phenomenon. In the footage, a luminous presence graces the side of the mountain, casting its brilliant glow into the night. Then, as if guided by some ethereal force, this radiant entity undergoes a sudden transformation. It ignites, erupting into a burst of light, illuminating the surroundings in a celestial display. However, the strangeness doesn't end there. Just as swiftly as it emerged, this mysterious orb disintegrates, vanishing into the shroud of the night. What could explain this event? Is it a natural occurrence, a celestial phenomenon, or perhaps something we just can't understand? Some members of the paranormal community believe it's caused by a being materializing in our plane, while some in the common sense, aka the logical folks, believe it's just some power lines short-circuiting, causing the sparks and eventual flames. Which of them do you think is most plausible? Share your thoughts with us. Growing up, I always heard some people being called lucky, but being the scientific mind I was in my childhood days, I just thought it was a matter of probability. If the childhood me could see this, he would change his mind. Yes, that's a man shaking uncontrollably, and it appears to be quite severe. At first glance, the reason behind this unusual behavior is unknown, but as the camera panned down, a broken piece of a hand grinder was revealed lying on the ground. As he turned the camera toward his face, we could see the reason behind his tremors. The disc of the hand grinder had become lodged in his cap just a few inches away from his head. This was a very close call, and the man's cap had saved him from what could have been a fatal accident. How's that possible? It's not supposed to be. It's quite remarkable how lucky he is to have escaped unscathed. It was clear from the video that the man was terrified and shaken by the incident, and understandably so. Could this be luck or something more? Share your thoughts. Would you go camping if you knew these guys would be your campmates? In the footage, a camper woke up one night to find a huge spider crawling on his tent on the outside. If you're an arachnophobe, I'm sure it will be hell for you. You can even see the highlights of other insects as well. Wait, did I just call a spider an insect? Spider-Man won't be happy about that. Good thing he's not real. Can you guess where this particular camp is happening? Hint, it's a popular place with the world's most deadly creatures. Yes, you guessed right, Australia. Australia is known for its spiders, some of which can grow to enormous sizes. For instance, the huntsman spider, which is commonly found in Australian homes, can have a leg span of up to 30 centimeters, making it one of the largest spiders in the world. Thinking of it alone is making my stomach churn, but do tell me, what do you think of this camping expedition? Do or pass? For our next clip, we find ourselves amid an intriguing and atmospheric moment captured on camera in the enchanting landscapes of Scotland. The setting is adorned with the promise of a brewing storm as the dark clouds gather ready to unleash their elemental fury. Amidst this breathtaking display of nature's might, there's an unexpected coalesce, an enigmatic twist. As the ominous clouds, our attention is drawn to something truly captivating, a congregation of radiant orbs like celestial dancers circling the resplendent orange sun. This mesmerizing sight raises a series of questions that begs for answers. What could these luminous orbs signify? Are they envoys from distant galaxies, UFOs making their presence known, or perhaps is there a more terrestrial explanation, one that resides within the boundaries of our understanding? Some believe so. They believe it might be nothing more than flares from divers or some military aircraft. While that sounds logical, a second look at the footage and you'll realize that there's no way it could be any of these. So what then is this? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. If you made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before we go on? Thank you very much. It means a lot. So moving back to today's episode. Would an alligator ever allow a human to scratch its back? If you answered no, you're not the only person to have ever thought so. But take a look at this footage. Yes, my friends, that's a woman scratching the back of an alligator. And what's more, the alligator appears to be turning its head, probably making more room for cleaning, creating a humorous "you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours" moment. As fun and interesting as this looks, no matter what you do, never go approaching a wild alligator or crocodile to pat it or scratch its back. These creatures have a bite force that may make such an action the last thing you do with your arm. Literally. Nonetheless, this is a beautiful and interesting footage, don't you agree? Have you ever wondered what the undersea cable system for our internet looks like? If you have, you're in luck. If you haven't, well, still enjoy this. This is what the connection made for the internet fiber optic cables looks like connected to the sea. Undersea fiber optic cables are like hidden highways under the ocean, made of thin strands of glass or plastic. They carry data using light signals, making communication fast and reliable across long distances. These cables are placed on the ocean floor, often very deep down, connecting continents and countries to form a giant network. Even though they're super important, most people don't even notice them. Putting these cables in place and keeping them working is tough work. Special ships and gear are needed to carefully lay them on the ocean floor and make sure they stay put. They have to be constantly watched and fixed to avoid any problems from nature or people. These cables are a big deal for global communication. They make talking to someone on the other side of the world almost as easy as talking to your neighbor. Without them, the internet and all the connections we rely on wouldn't be possible. Don't believe me? Check with Africa. Most of the continent experienced power problems a few months ago when cables belonging to MTN, one of the continent's biggest communication giants, were damaged. Thankfully, they were able to find a way around it. That should tell you how important these things are. You and I are fortunate to live in a time like this. Never forget that. A homeowner in North Carolina, USA, was reviewing his home surveillance footage when he spotted a strange creature. The creature appeared to have a hairy body and was walking on two legs. Although the camera was positioned downward, it was still obvious that the creature was not human. Its size was significantly smaller compared to the flower pot it walked by. It was definitely not a normal creature, as it did not resemble a rat, cat, or rodent and was clearly walking on two legs. Interestingly, some viewers pointed out that the creature didn't cast a shadow, which made the sighting even more bizarre. The lack of the shadow made some, including my in-house video editor, think it might be CGI, but we can't prove that now, can we? Some people also suggested that the creature might be a duende, a mythical creature found in Spanish and Latin American folklore. Duendes are known for being small, mischievous beings that look similar to elves or goblins. They're believed to live in natural places such as forests and caves and are regarded as guardians of nature. Depending on their mood or the actions of humans they encounter, they might either help or worry people. However, it's hard to say for sure if the creature in the footage is a duende or something else entirely. What do you think? Now let's dive into another spooky scene. A man and his friend cruising one dark night when suddenly they stumble upon something straight out of a horror movie. So we have about 6 folks decked out in red robes with eerie white masks covering their faces. If you were driving and you saw this, you'd turn around, but not our brave driver. He kept driving, and when they noticed the car, they also didn't run. Instead, they lined up on both sides of the road to allow the cars to drive by. This is an unsettling situation on all levels. The big mystery here, who were those masked figures and why in the world were they standing in the middle of the road? Could they be ritualistic gatherings, or are we dealing with supernatural phenomena? Now, some skeptics are calling foul, saying it's all staged for a scare. But what's your take on this? Is it a spooky encounter with the unknown, or just a well-crafted performance to give everyone a good scare? During heavy rainfall, someone captured this in the night sky. There was a loud screeching sound followed by a loud boo and this strange green laser coming from the sky under the earth. Now, the person recording suggests it could be an explosion, but I'm leaning toward alien invasion vibes here. I mean, what kind of explosion comes with sound effects and a green laser light show? Are we sure someone didn't accidentally open a portal to another dimension? I'm curious to know your take on this. Explosion or something more extraterrestrial? During a beautiful sunset, someone captured this. It looks like tiny insects swamped up in the sunset. But is this even possible? If it were, what kind of insects could do that? The original poster believes that they could be cicadas, but a commenter suggested that they could be wasps. Others in the paranormal community and in this post stated they observed wasps acting odd during the eclipse. I did some digging around and found an explanation. Apparently, wasps are more active during the daytime when it's warmer and there's more light, so if an eclipse temporarily reduces the amount of light, they might become less active or confused. Some insects and animals might even behave as if it's dusk or nighttime during an eclipse, which could affect their foraging patterns and other behaviors. Could this be what happened to the wasps these individuals observed? Very likely. Could what we are seeing in the clip be wasps? I'll leave that up to you to decide. Behold the mesmerizing serpent captured in the lens of fascination, a horned snake with orange skin. Its back is covered in spikes like a dragon from ancient stories deciding to show up in the form of this amazing snake-like marvel. It's like a mythical creature coming to life. At first glance, one might entertain the notion of a horned puff adder, but no, this snake is something else entirely. It's not your regular snake, it's like a mystery in itself. With majestic proportions and all these intricate spikes covering its slithery body, what type of snake is this? But hold on, here's a twist. We can't rule out that this might just be a fake snake created with technology. You know, people can pull off some pretty convincing illusions these days, so the mystery might be more about how it was made rather than what it actually is. Now, we have had creepy videos in today's episode, but this next one makes my heart skip a beat. Not because the subject was a demon, but rather because they were humans trying to hurt another. Just watch. At first glance, this video seems unremarkable. A lady in blue appears to be making a purchase from the lady behind the wooden counter dressed in black. It looks like ice cream and they engage in conversation. We don't hear what they discuss, but pay attention to the man a few meters from them. He appears to be stalking the lady or just patiently waiting for her, and the seller recognizes that. Once the young girl leaves the woman, the man in question says this to whomever he's talking to on the phone. "I'm prepared to sacrifice my life." The lady in black notices something is wrong, especially because the black car's door is open and quickly rushes to the side of the little girl. In that moment, it becomes apparent the man was going to push the young girl in and rush off with her. Does that not scare you? It's scary to think they were planning to carry out something like this in broad daylight. Kudos to the older woman for sticking out for the young lady. I don't know how many individuals would be that selfless in today's dangerous world. Please take care of yourselves out there. We love you too much to lose you. Dragons are those mythical creatures that have fired up our imagination for centuries. They've taken on various forms in folklore and tales from different cultures, but do they truly exist? Now let's dive into some intriguing footage that's been making the rounds on the internet. The footage shows a peculiar dragon-like creature lifeless on the ground. At first glance, it might appear to be some sort of eel, but a closer look and you'll notice it has some rather dragon-like features. Spikes along its tail and those long antenna-like structures on its head certainly add to the mystique. So here's the big question. Is this a well-crafted hoax, a peculiar eel, or perhaps just the remains of a real-life dragon? A part of me wants to lean toward the option of it being real because I'd, of course, want proof that dragons existed. Thinking about it a second time, I'd rather it wasn't real, though. What about you? In the midst of a chilling winter darkness, this intriguing video clip unfolds, offering a blend of curiosity and amusement. The footage opens with footprints that hint at an elusive presence that ventured into the scene. A closer look reveals peculiar chicken-like markings, leaving us to ponder what creature might be responsible for this cryptic visitation. As the footage unfolds, the recorder remains determined to uncover the truth behind the enigmatic footprints. The path leads to an area surrounded by bags of resources with a hint of dampness in the air. And then, there it is, a surprising sight that defies explanation. An otherworldly being resembling an alienoid figure comes into view. With a dark, shadowy appearance, glowing eyes, and a head shape reminiscent of a child's doodles, the creature captures our attention. Yet questions arise. What brings this Star Wars-esque character to a terrain seemingly incompatible with its presence? What mission or purpose lies behind its visit to Earth? Could its appearance signal a deeper message, a warning akin to the sky falling? In this curious encounter, the lines between reality and imagination blur, leaving us to ponder the intricate mysteries of the universe. As we contemplate the peculiar appearance, we're reminded that the cosmos continues to hold secrets that both intrigue and mystify us. Also, I think the whole thing is fake. What about you? One of the wildest captures we have come across of a Bigfoot in a long time. Just take a look at this. In the capture, we see a tall, furry creature with solid, strong-looking arms. Unlike most of the Bigfoot captures we have seen on this channel, this particular one is hunched over with its hands having only fingers. It looks like it's got something sinister or threatening in its path because there's no other explanation for the serious look on its face. Unless, of course, it's noticed the trail camera and knows exactly what it is and isn't happy about being filmed. For that to be a possibility, the creature must be capable of some level of intelligence that Bigfoots are rumored to have. Before you dismiss this and call Bigfoot nothing more than a myth, know that there have been numerous global reports claiming encounters with this cryptid in various parts of the world, from North America to Canada and Vietnam. The big question remains, is this footage genuine evidence of Bigfoot? Could it be an AI creation, or is it merely a scene from a movie? I know opinions will be varied, but still do share them. What do you think about it? We have what looks like a woman trapped in a loop, another glitch in the Matrix. Have a look. The video starts off with footage of a woman smiling and possibly taking a selfie. You take a closer look and you realize that no, that's not all she's doing. She seems to be stuck in doing the same thing over and over again. Now bear in mind, the original footage we received is at least 20 seconds, and the woman doesn't for once change her actions or facial expression. Could she be glitching and stuck in an infinite loop in the Matrix? Well, many who saw the footage initially thought that was what was happening. I was tempted to believe it too, but with the advent of TikTok and all these crazy camera transitions, it's possible that she's just doing one of those trending stuff kids of today do. If that's the case, then there's little cause for alarm. But if it's not, then perhaps you and I need to get ready to break out of the Matrix, and if you've watched Neo's movies, you should know it won't be an easy one to do. But what do you think though? Matrix glitch or some serious camera work? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Let's dive into another spine-tingling piece of footage that'll make those goosebumps dance. Here's the setup. A dog owner out for a nighttime stroll with his trusty white pit bull playing a game of catch. He throws a green ball, and that's when the strangeness kicks in. Watch closely. As the pit bull lunges for the ball, out of the blue, a smaller black dog just materializes from thin air right beneath the pit bull. It's like a scene out of a paranormal thriller. How could something like this even happen? Take a careful look at it again. Did you see that? Could the Chihuahua have been tied to the pit bull at the start? Well, if that were the case, we would have seen it, wouldn't we? So how else do we explain what we saw? Well, we can't, unless of course the footage is doctored, which I highly doubt. But what say you? Picture this, Chucky Land, where dolls gather and then venture out into the world only to become so comfortable that they settle wherever they please. In a desolate corner of the woods, a house stands as a testament to a life once lived. However, whoever inhabited this space must have had more than a passing fondness for dolls. It seems they had an obsession. Isolated from the nearby town and neighbors, the house now sits abandoned, teetering on the edge of decay. Cracked walls, peeling paint, rusty furniture, and dusty bathtubs create an eerie atmosphere. The lawn is a canvas of discarded dolls, each one having seen better days. If there was ever a place that could be called haunted, this might be it. It leads to questions that tread the line between reality and the supernatural. Do these dolls come to life at night, echoing the infamous Chucky? Could they be descendants of the notorious doll? And who could the owner of this property be? Surely they hold the secrets of what transpired over the years and the reasons for leaving this eerie collection behind. It's a scene ripe with mystery and an unsettling aura, leaving us to wonder who lived within these walls for approximately 3 decades. Creepy, indeed.
Open the door for mommy. Bella. Come out. Bella, are you there, honey?
And for our final clip, I've got a question. What would you do when you hear a voice that sounds like that of one of your loved ones inviting you outside, but you know that the individual isn't the one? That's what happened to this young lady with the voice pretending to be her mom. After she refuses to step out, however, it starts growling. Even if you were new here, you should know this one. Which cryptid do you think is responsible? And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we will post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I will see you in the next one.